Hey guys, Long Haul Larry here, and we're back with the snow bike. I keep finding little things and stuff, and I'm new to the snow biking world and stuff. And to tell you the truth, I haven't ridden a dirt bike since I was like younger, my more agile days. But I have gotten some really cool stuff done on here. I did take this thing for a little bit of a rip, and that little skid plate that I made down there, it's a piece of white down there underneath it. That's working great. It is really working awesome. It's keeping a lot of the snow from coming up right into my boot area, with the shifter and the brake area over on the other side. So it keeps it, snow from packing up in there. It's working good. I don't think I'm gonna need a bigger one. I actually just made that out of a garbage can. You guys can see that in a video. I'll post that from the top here, link. But I did some other things with it. I put a light on there. That's awesome. That is really cool. We went out the other night. I went out with my daughter and her husband, and it was getting a little bit dark out, and we couldn't go out because he had to work. He works from home, and they were up here visiting. He was working. He didn't get done until 3 o'clock, and then we just went out and rode a little bit. And when it started getting a little bit dark, I wasn't so worried about it, and I was able to make her back here no problem, and that LED lights everything up. But we're gonna be doing something cool today, and I watch YouTube videos of guys snow biking and stuff, and I've been trying to learn as much as I can about it and everything else. And this is a Yamaha YZ 450F. It is a dirt bike. It is for racing, supercross stuff and all this and everything. And this motor has actually been imported and polished. It's got a lot of power and stuff. But this thing is, it's a good bike. And it works real well on this thing, but it has no electric start, which kind of sucks. I got to get a different one. The kickstart is just a pain in the butt. But the one thing that I kind of watch all the time is a lot of these snow bike channels, they are constantly checking their temperature. And I think that I never really have had a problem with the temperature. It doesn't seem like I'm not having power and stuff like that maybe the engine is too cold and stuff. But I'm also worried if the engine is getting too hot. And so I would like to kind of be able to monitor the temperature of the engine. Well, these dirt bikes don't have anything on it from this year. This is a 2013. So I was down at my dealer, and just here in town, and they don't deal anything with snow bikes and stuff, but there's a guy, the parts guy and stuff, he knows dirt bikes real well. And we've talked about it and everything, and he started looking around, and we found this one. And this is a TTO, and this is a engine, it says WPS, engine temperature meter, 10 millimeter plug. And what this does, it's pretty cool. It actually has a clock on it, which I didn't know it was going to have on it. Which, okay, I could tell what time it is if I look down. But you push the button, and then it'll tell you the temperature of the engine. You can have it in Fahrenheit or Celsius. And then you can also set a max temperature. So, and right now it's set at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it hits 250 degrees, it's going to give you an alert, and it's going to tell you that the bike is too hot. So this is pretty cool, and this is a really simple install. It was really cheap. It was only 49 bucks, and this is from Trail Tech, I think is the name of the company. Yeah, trailtech.net is the name of the company, and it was only 49 bucks. And he didn't know anything about it and stuff. He saw it in a book, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And he's like, "I guess it says something about a 10 millimeter bolt or something. There's something that," and he goes, "I guess maybe a head bolt or something. You just got to put this underneath the head bolt, and it will give you a temperature reading." And I looked at him and I said, "Well, the head bolts on that motor are not 10 millimeter bolts. There's no way. I mean, that's way too big." And then I started looking at the screen he was looking at, and we were kind of reading it together. And it said on a 10 millimeter plug. And I looked at him and I says, "I wonder if the spark plug is 10 millimeters. And he looked at me and goes, "I think it is." And he looked it up, and he actually went back and got a new spark plug for it. And for the bike and everything. And right here it is. I can get it off with one hand. And it actually fits on there perfectly. and that fits right on there. And so then he was like, well, that is so simple, and there's no external power source. It runs off a battery and stuff. And I was like, well, how easy is that? All you do is pull the plug and put that wire underneath there, and it'll give you a head temperature. And so he ordered one up, and I'm going to be the guinea pig, and we're going to give it a try and see how it works. That was pretty simple, actually. I should just, I thought it'd be a few more bolts. But actually, there was just 2 bolts back here, one on each side. And those are 10 millimeter bolts. Pull those off, and then your seat just comes back. Your seat just hooks on this here peg on your gas tank. And the seat comes off, and then there is two 8mm bolts that attach back through this. This sits up inside here, and those 8mm bolts pull out, and then there's 2 long 8mm bolts that goes through this plastic right here, goes through these and screws into there, and right there you go. And right down here on top of the head is your spark plug. Probably gonna have to get a screwdriver or something to pry that off of there. It's got a rubber seal on there. No, I think I got it. I'll probably I should probably get a little pry bar to get that off. But then there's your spark plug. We'll just unscrew the spark plug out of there and check the gap on a new one. Look it up and check it and set the gap on a new spark plug and then put it back on. All right, guys. So we got the spark plug out. Right here it is. And the spark plug is a CR8E. And that is the same one that they gave me. And I've checked the gap on it, looked it up online, and anywhere between 24 and 35 thousandths. And I've already checked this one here and everything, and it is 26 thousandths. So we're good to go. I've actually checked this one here, and this one was 36 thousandths. It's pretty worn out, so it's a good thing we're doing this anyways. But I was reading the instructions in this, and you can get different temperature sensors, and this is the one I got, was a 10mm plug version, so it just goes on the spark plug. And the first step is you have to remove the crush washer on the spark plug, because the wire itself, I don't know where I put it, the wire itself, it's copper, and this is going to become the new crush washer for the spark plug. And so if I put this on here, that's also going to add on, that's almost 24 thousandths right there. It's probably about 22, 23, something like that. It just about doesn't fit in there. That's going to make the spark plug gap. That's going to bring the spark plug up, and it's not going to run correctly. So we need to remove these crush washers. And all these crush washers on here are made not to come off. I think that what we can do here is just grab a little side cutter. And usually crush washers are made out of spark plugs are made out of a soft material. So you can kind of just pinch it in there, cut it, wiggle it back and forth. There we go. There we go. So now we got the crush washer off. So now we're going to put this on there, and then we're going to screw that back down inside here. All right, guys, this is not going to work. The main reason why is because it has this valve cover up on here. The spark plug goes way down inside that hole right there. And when this is mounted on here, this plug here sits off to the side, and the spark plug will not go down in there. It's too tight. It will not go back down in there. So we cannot use that. So that's not going to work. So here's my other idea. Right up here is a head bolt. And this is about the size of that. So what I'm going to do is take this head bolt loose and put it up underneath there and just run the thing up underneath there. And we'll see what kind of temperatures I get off of it. But that's the only way I can see it. It's pretty much next to the coolant here, the coolant jacks. That's going to have the actual engine temperature. So that's what we're going to have to do. Guys, so we got this figured out. So what I've done is I have put this on a head bolt. And I'm just turning my light on so you guys can see it. But it is right, this head bolt, this front head bolt. And you can see the wire coming up right here. And I put it underneath there. Basically, I just pulled the head bolt out, and it's very long. And up underneath here, underneath this valve cover right here, there is a vent line right here for your oil. And when you pull the head bolt up, you can't get the head bolt out. So I had to remove the valve cover, just three bolts. Yeah, 3 bolts. And, 3 bolts. The head cover, I was able to prop it up and then move it over enough and then get the head bolt out. And then I just slipped that up underneath there. So now it's mounted right on the head. And I think that's going to give me a good temperature. And especially it's right next to the water jacket right here. So this is where it's going to give me an accurate temperature. And then I ran the wire up through the frame. And I have it coming up behind the air box right up here. And then what I'm going to do is, this is the gauge right here. And I'm actually going to stick it right up here. This is the air box, and I'm going to stick it right here. And so it'll be mounted right here. And it comes with a sticky pad, a 3M pad there. And I'm just going to wipe this down with alcohol, stick it on there. And it also has spots where you put screws in it. I think I may put a couple little screws into it too to make sure it doesn't fall off, because with the cold temperature changing and stuff, the sticky pad might come loose. And so I just put a couple little screws into it. That just goes into the airbox. So this is just hollow plastic. So I can just run a screw down to it. And then you just plug the wire in, and we'll set it up quick. So I actually had to send Tracy out. I didn't want to put the old plug back in. So she ran down to buy me a new plug because I took the crush washer off of that brand new plug. So I ran her down, and she's buying me a new spark plug. And then when she gets back, I can put the spark plug back in and put the gas tank and the seat back on and be ready to go. Well, there we go, guys. We have her all installed. And we just put her on the head bolt here. And you can see it coming right up, and it runs up through there. And then I just have the wire. The connection, I did not put dielectric grease into it. Sometimes on sensors, you don't want to put dielectric grease. It actually messes them up. So I plugged it together, and then I wrapped it real good with a coating of wraparound of electrical tape to make sure no snow and water gets inside there. But we have her all installed. You can see her right here. So all I do is just push the button. It's telling me right now that the block is 47 degrees, which probably makes about sense. I brought it in from outside. I ran it in for a little bit. But you can see there's still snow on stuff and everything. It's probably, when I run my heater in my garage, it keeps it about 50, 55, maybe even 60 I can get up in here, which is fine for working on stuff. It's great. The garage is not insulated at all. But the metal on there is going to be a little bit colder. So you figure that's probably about right. I would guess that's the correct temperature, 47 degrees. But if you push the button, it tells you the max temperature. Right now it's set at 250. And from what the instructions tell me is if it hits 250, it will say high across it. So that would tell you that it's, a high temperature. Then you can also press the button again, and that tells you the time. Now I'm going to reset the clock. It's pretty simple. What time is it? My time here. I'm actually Eastern time zone. It's actually 12:48. So to do it, hold button to edit current time of day. So we're going to hold button. See what this does. There we go. Okay, we want 12 hour. Okay. It's flashing. I don't know what it's going to do here. So I push, okay, now it goes here. Okay, so we can it goes by minutes. So we got 12:49. Be kind of nice. I actually get to, whoa. I can actually look down and kind of see what time of the day is. I don't have to pull out a phone or something like that. So I guess we did, there we go. Now the clock is set. Then I can go to here, and if I press and hold this, I can change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Well, I'm a UL citizen, so we use Fahrenheit. We don't use that common UC stuff. And I can change the max temp, but if it hits 250, that's pretty high. So we want to have that. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire the bike up and we'll see if the temperature climbs. So I just got it fired up. You can see it's climbing. I'm going to give her a little throttle and see what kind of temp we get. So it's 81 there, it says now. Yeah, and I can hold my finger on her, so she's not hot. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut it off. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to, I have a little temperature gauge. It's a little mini one that one of the subscribers sent me as a gift one time. And I think that I'm going to take that with me. And I think that we will go out and run it. And I will show on a video, I'll run her a little bit. Me and Tracy are actually going to go down and do a little bit of snowmobiling for a few hours. And she has come up here from home. Yeah, see now it's hitting 100, 101. So I'll do a little bit of running and I'll kind of see what kind of temperatures it gets to. Well, guys, we're just taking a little break. We're out here on these logging roads on here. And Tracy's enjoying M&Ms, but she doesn't like the orange ones, he says, as in the orange ones taste different. It's in the snow. If anybody wants to come out here and find it, there's an orange M&M.
Don't litter.
Don't litter. It's food. So you're going to drop that. But yeah, we got some decent. That's not all the way down either. When I stop, I always spin the track a little bit and it sets the track down on the snow and it makes the bike stable. But the temperature gauge is working really good. I keep glancing down at it. And we've been here, what, 10, 15 minutes?
No.
10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and it's down to 139. Most of the time you're okay, it's been 30 seconds. She's through a half a bag of M&Ms. But most of the time riding, it's around 160 to 170 or so, it says. And the one time we looked at that house over there, I let it sit there and idle. When I got back on it, it was 198. And that's fine. 220 is okay. A little over that, it's a little high. But it's actually a little bit too high. But you drop another one?
I almost lost a green one.
Almost lost a green one. No holiday cheer for you. But yeah, it seems to be working really good. And you know, it just dropped down to 136 when it's sitting here. But yeah, it's working great. As you can see, the snow doesn't pile up on my foot pegs anymore from my little trash can snow deflector. So yeah, I think that thing is a home run. $49. That's cheap. Well, let's see how long the battery lasts because you can't turn it off. And I'm thinking it's probably got like a little watch battery in it. But working good. I like it. So we're going to let you go. We're just out here in the woods. I think she's got to pee.
I do.
So we won't video that.
I'm looking for a bathroom.
Third tree to the left. We're out here just playing around. It's just taking it real easy. Tracy, when we pulled up, she's like, do you like snowmobiling with me? I said, right now it's good for me to snowmobile with you because we just kind of gently just drive around. I don't do stupid things. I hurt my back. And so we just drive around. You can see all the tracks and stuff. We just go around on these logging roads and stuff. There's almost enough snow to go out onto the woods. Most of the stumps are covered up, but you do catch them once in a while. So maybe a little more snow will be better. But it's good for me just to do this kind of stuff and just a nice gentle, just riding around, just having a good time. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day, great night. If you watch this here video, and if you're not, well, I'm not going to let you watch Tracy P.
Thank you.
Always try it again tomorrow. Catch you later.